Let's just vibe right now on Tuesday morning.
All right, it's 11:59. Let's rock.
Oh, we live right now, Lou. I'm just
Really?
vibing.
Are we really live or not?
Yeah, we live right now. Woo! Right. Get on this Kendrick Lamar and Sir song right here. Hair down, baby. That is what's up. What's going on, everyone? Stephen Michael here with Filthbomb Breaks. Coming to you live from the House of Wax right here in Long Island, New York on June 9th, 2020. The time is 11:59 p.m. Eastern or a.m. Eastern, and we are here with the Filthbomb Podcast. I'm here with my co-host, Louis Zolo. What is up, Louis?
Yeah, Travis Scott's better than Kendrick Lamar.
No. Stop it. Stop it. Don't even say that. Stop it.
You know what? I put this on because I'm having like a quitter shirt. You know what I mean? But I'm too hot. I don't think I'm going to be able to do this like this. What do you think?
No, I mean, I just threw on my Filthbomb hoodie because you kind of have to throw the Filthbomb hoodie on. You got to rep your own brand. But you don't necessarily have to because it's not Filthbomb.
Am I even in the screen?
Yeah, oh, you're in the screen, baby. You know what I mean? You are in the screen.
Okay.
We got the new overlay. Shout out to Stick Smith for hooking us up with this brand new podcast overlay. We got the Zolo cam that he's on in the bottom left. We got the guest cam, which currently is occupied by the Filthbomb Breaks logo. But when we bring on a guest, they will be in there. Then you got the personal break cam on the bottom right. Right now, that's being occupied by Michael Trout and Beckett Magazine. And we're just chilling. We're live in the studio. We're hanging out. So, Lou, what are we talking about today, man?
Let's talk first about the new baseball proposal. Did you see that yet? Do you know it?
Not by heart. Please, let me know.
All right, here's the deal. The owners offered a 76-game season for the players to get 75% of their salary, and each player would have to sign a COVID agreement stating that the league is not responsible if they get sick while they play. So obviously the players are hell no, and they're actually going further back than making segue. So
what if your camera fell mid podcast? Would that be cool?
What are you talking about? What happened now?
My camera fell. Hold on.
Boop. Oh, you're the worst. You are the most.
We're live, man. Anything can happen live.
OCD person on earth. It's like I'm going to need to be put on medication to deal with you.
Bro, my camera fell. What do you want from me?
All right. Anyway, I don't even know what were we talking about. What
we
happened?
were basically talking about how the MLB wanted the first child from each player.
Yeah, basically. So the point is, we're not going to get a baseball season. The players are never going to do this, and every day they say no is another day without baseball.
And
so it's like it's over.
You know what I'm thinking though? This is what I'm thinking.
I'm listening.
All this does is help Shohei Ohtani, baby. Get healthy, Ohtani. Get healthy. Rehab for another year. Get that Tommy John out of the way, and let's come back and Cy Young it up for the next 4 years.
That's not happening.
Go.
But I get your point.
Let's
that
go.
Happens. That's going to happen with all the players, right? Like stuff like the Mets with Thor, right? He had Tommy John, but now it doesn't matter. He would have had to sit out the season anyway.
Yeah, well, I'm really excited because I'm a huge Ohtani guy, and obviously I think that helps him. But let's get back to the topic. I think the MLB is showing how greedy they are. So they're like the only sport without a salary cap, right? So already they have the most greedy owners in the world.
Yeah.
They do what they want when they want. It's kind of not really about the players. The players' union is kind of weak too. Like, it's always been about the owners in the MLB. Whereas you look at the NFL, and they protect the players a lot more. So I think at the end of the day, you know what you're getting into becoming a professional Major League Baseball player. You know the way that it's going to be ran, and you know that you're not first priority. The dollar bills are for the owners. And you kind of just have to accept it. And you know what? Don't play. If you don't want to play, don't play. Because you don't have to. Those owners are being greedy. But why should you have to play baseball? For us, you got to protect your own.
Yeah. 2 years ago, I don't know about last year. 2 years ago, MLB owners made more money than any Major League Baseball season recorded. $4 billion profit they made. So they have the money. Like, just
oh no, they do. They're cheap. They're cheap.
Crazy.
Cheap. You know what the worst thing is? Look at the minimum player salary for like all right, here's my thing. This is what I really Can't understand. How are you cool with somebody like, say, Aaron Judge is a bad example because he's trash bags now. But how are you cool with Aaron Judge getting the amount of money he's getting prior to the injury?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's so grimy. Like, he's old as it is, right? So if I'm a Yankee owner, I want to take care of my own, right? So you're like, hey, listen, Aaron, you're already old for a rookie. We have you under contract for the next 3 years at nothing. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Here, man. Take $5 million. You know, like, what's $5 million to the Steinbrenners?
Are you kidding?
You know what I mean? Like, here, take $5 million just in case. Just in case you don't make it the next 3 years, you get injured. You carried our team. You were the face of the franchise. People were wearing Judge gowns. We were making all this money off merchandising. They came to the stadium to see you. How are you comfortable giving someone $600,000?
Somebody look this up real quick and let me know in the comments. How much did Steinbrenner buy the Yankees for? I'm asking that because I know it's an insanely low, crazy price. I don't know why I'm saying this. I think it's something like $20 million, like something really low, maybe even less than that. When he bought
I don't know. We'd have to look it up. We'd have to get our stat guy in the back. Hey, Bobby.
Yes.
No, Bobby's not here. We don't.
Hey, you know what? This is something perfect for us to talk about. All right, Dan Rocco says this: if they don't play baseball this season, say goodbye to baseball as we know it. Viewership is down, average fan age is up, the sport is dying as is. I agree and disagree. Let me tell you what. When baseball died after the strike, and then the Royd thing was going on, it was dead. But Sosa and McGuire brought it back with that home run chase. I don't know if you remember that or not. Do you?
Yeah.
Like, okay, they
that was
single-handedly.
Like my prime years.
Okay, they single-handedly brought it back because baseball was dead. Nobody was watching. Then that home run chase, everybody came in. So Royds or not, Sosa and McGuire saved baseball with that. I understand there's no baseball going on, but I don't think it's out of frustration of the game why people were protesting it back then. I think people actually miss it and can't wait for baseball to come back. That's the way I feel. I don't know.
I agree with you. I agree with that.
Yeah, but also when he just said how it's dying as is, that's where I disagree. Maybe the numbers are showing that, but I think they're sort of skewed because, like I said, they just made the most money they made in Major League history. So somebody's watching, somebody's paying. Either we're complete suckers when we go to the game and spend $40 for a hot dog, or the game is not dying.
Well, that was
because
the point.
They made the most money.
That was the point I was just going to make. So, how greedy, right?
Ooh, hold on. 8.7 million. 8.7 million from CBS, Steinbrenner bought them for. And now it's worth 3.2 billion.
Yeah, that's a nice return on investment.
Crazy.
But my point is this, right? How greedy are... So, as a baseball fan, right? I think that you should be able to support your player, but do you necessarily have to support the team, right? Where the average fan can't go to a game anymore with their family without spending a small vacation on it. You know what I mean? Like, do you have to support your team? Because if that was really your team, right? Being in New York myself, you were from New York, now you get to see. So what the Marlins do, right? You're in Florida.
Yeah.
I could respect that. Like, all right, you're not that good, and you're not charging through the roof either, though. Like, you could go... I remember I sat behind home plate for $60 to go see a Marlin game. But in New York, how can you have the audacity for a garbage seat to charge like $250? So if you want to take your kids, you have a son, you have a daughter, your wife, it's going to cost you $1,000 plus the parking, which is a ripoff, plus the food, which is a ripoff. You're looking at what, $1,300 to go see a game from a garbage seat? And now these owners are the same owners not letting you have a baseball season to watch because they don't want to pay your players the amount of money that they are truly owed?
But they're all underhanded, man. You know, you just pointed out Florida, right? Now, this is something you would never know, because why would you? Nobody would know this. I'm going to give you guys some inside information on a true story. This is true, okay? The Marlins, like you said, whatever, right? But they're greedy, too. because season tickets, 4 seats behind home plate where I sit, I've showed you those pictures, right? Are $250,000 for 4 seats. That's including everything, because the Marlins do a whole package. If they make the playoffs, you get them. You don't have to worry about a lottery, any of that. Now, we also know that the Marlins love to trade away their players in a fire sale every other year, which just happened again. They're not lowering their prices. And let's just say somebody very close to me offered Derek Jeter specifically $200,000 for the seats. $200,000. And said, listen, why should I pay $250 when I'm watching a AAA team play? Nobody's here. Take the money. Long story short, you don't see me in those seats this past year because we didn't get them. Over $50,000, and nobody's in that stadium.
But at the same time, if they got good, would they go up from $250, or you'd be able to pay $250?
Truth, I don't know if that was discussed or not. I wasn't in on that specific meeting, but I don't see the Marlins becoming great overnight where that $50,000 is going to matter.
No.
And don't you take $200,000 instead of zero? Isn't 50% of something better than 100% of nothing?
Yeah, but at the end of the day, they don't care about $250 or $200. They don't care.
But that's my point.
They don't care if they get zero for those seats. They know someone's going to buy them. Someone's going to take those seats.
Nobody bought them. That's what I'm saying. They were empty all season. Empty.
Yeah, well, you know what that is? It's the same thing as when restaurants, right? This is my biggest pet peeve.
Yeah, Dan Rocco Marlins, man, exactly.
This is the same. Tell me this is no different than that. You know when you go to a restaurant and they give you the wrong order, like at a fast food place, and then you're like, oh no, I ordered something else. Rather than them give you that thing that they messed up on,
right? They'd
rather throw it away. You know what I mean? It's no different than that, which that's a huge pet peeve of mine. You get a coffee. It's like, no, I ordered another one. So instead of being like, yo, you want this coffee too? They just dump it right in front of you. Mm-hmm. Like, that's like disrespect a little bit. That's a pet peeve. That's a pet peeve.
I agree.
Anyways, but yes, I do think if you're going to take anything away from this conversation, ownership is super greedy, obviously, hence the point that we're not having a season, most likely. Second off, look at the NBA. Like, they're about to have a season, finish their season. Like, they were able to work that out amicably and easily because the salary cap is what helps it too, though. That's what really helps it.
I'm looking at some comments. Brett Argabright, what's up? Dan Rocco. Well, he's been giving us information. Who else is in here? Sweatman's in here. Duke Christie's in here. Keith Kirkwood. I mean, I would usually read comments, but basically they're all making fun of me as usual. So
there you go.
I don't have to read any.
What I will say is this: if we're going to look from an investment standpoint,
yeah,
this just further supports basketball, man.
Well, that's what I was leading this whole entire introduction to is cards. If we don't have a baseball season, what does that do? What do you think it does?
All right, the only thing I think it affects is rookies, but it doesn't because there's rookies that, for example, like Jordan Alvarez is a rookie, and he's proven he could perform so far. In his early stages of his career, he was in the World Series. He got a couple nice hits in the World Series. So it's like you don't really have to worry about Jordan per se as a rookie. The people that you would be worried about is Gavin Lux and Louis Robert specifically. But I think that Robert has shown enough in the minors and has gotten a commitment from the White Sox to sign him. They give him that deal where you kind of have to be like, all right, he's probably for real if they're throwing money at him before he's played a Major League Baseball game. The only person I would kind of be a little bit weary of if I was investing at this point is Lux, just because there's no sample size, really.
Could I be honest about something? Seriously? Listen, everybody who knows about sports, sometimes you just don't know the obvious. It happens. I don't know who Lux is, man. I'm being dead serious. I've never heard of him until he started becoming a hot commodity in baseball cards. I don't know who he is.
I mean, he's been around for... I've heard his name since 16. But the thing with Lux is, I don't... Like you said, I don't have that gut feeling about Gavin Lux. I don't know. Bichette comes from a father that was in the major leagues, so you have a little pedigree there. So although his sample size isn't huge, But like, look, who was in the Biggio played last year, right? In the bigs.
Biggio played longer than all of them.
Yeah. And did Bichette even get any burn at the end? No, right?
No, I don't think so.
But
I
look,
think it was just Vlad and Biggio.
But Biggio, look at his track record in the minors, and then he had his father, so he had that pedigree, and boom, look what he did in the majors. It's not superstar yet, but it's definitely above the average major league player. And then look at Bichette. That's why you would take, you'd be willing to gamble on Bichette. But Lux, I don't know, man. It's like you have to wait a whole year if this doesn't happen to see how that plays out.
See, I think percentage-wise, when you do, and this is relating to baseball cards, this is, for once, I'm going to kick in some hobby collecting type stuff. That's why I feel like in all pick-your-team breaks, the Blue Jays are the safest team. Like, for instance, everybody knows I take the Mets, right? So for me, it's Alonso or bust. The Blue Jays, you have Biggio, Vlad, and Bichette. All three guys, all starting, all rookies, all stars. Now, even if a scout is wrong, they're not going to be wrong on three guys where the whole franchise is going to go bust. Somebody's got to be a star, you would think, right?
Maybe.
Those guys.
I mean, they've done it before. There's been, like, look at the Mets, bro. You know better than anyone.
Oh, the pitchers, the Pulsifer situation,
Yeah.
that's what brought up to me yesterday. Okay, but those three guys, listen, pitchers are a lot different, right? They're 1 out of every 5 days. You're talking about 3 infielders. 3 infielders.
I mean, they could all turn into Andrelton Simmons, for all you know. Just be quality major leaguers that aren't going to win you anything.
I don't know. I don't see them all dying. I mean, these are first-round picks, all pedigree of great good enough players, right? Yeah. I mean, out of all 3 guys, who was really the best? Vlad, right? Who was the worst? Bichette out of the 3,
Yeah, Dante
right?
Bichette was garbage.
Right, and he had great stats.
He played in
Colorado.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I just don't see the Blue Jays going bust. Now, the Mets, out of those 3 guys, Isringhausen ended up to be a good relief pitcher, at least. For the Cardinals, though. Yeah. I mean, he wasn't a bust.
Nah.
And Wilson had a couple of good years. He just couldn't stay healthy, but Pulsifer was a bum.
Yeah. I mean, garbage.
But my point is, you have 3 guys with pedigree, all drafted early, all not brought up too soon. I don't see them all dying out.
Listen,
somebody's got to be.
Check this out, right? If you look at all the teams that wound up having a core group of players, right, that wound up really being studly, lots of the times, man, they're not like the Bichette, Biggio, Vlad pedigree. It's a bunch of guys that you don't expect, and they click, man. Like the 96 Yankees, like those guys. Like Bernie came from the system. He wasn't a star.
Bernie, Jeter, Posada.
Yeah.
All from the system. Hold on a second. Dan Rocco said 196 at-bats with a 311 average, 21 RBIs, 11 homers, slugged .571 about Bichette. He had 196 at-bats in the majors last year?
He might have. I'm telling you,
That's a lot of at-bats for us not to know.
Well, I trusted you because you are the Jays guy.
No, I don't remember.
Well, but back to my point I was saying, though.
Right.
A lot of the times, scouts are wrong. You know? Nobody knew Jeter was going to be Jeter. No one knew Bernie was going to... You know what I mean? Like, no one...
He was in the majors. Wow, that's crazy. No, I know you don't, but what I'm saying is Jeter... We talked about this ages ago on the other podcast. Jeter is Jeter because of his timing of his greatness. He wasn't even the top 3 shortstops in the American League.
I never was a huge Jeter fan, but he has 3,000 hits. So even...
No.
He's still, you know what I mean? Like, even, like Molitor was, Molitor doesn't do it for me, but he has 3,000 hits.
Yeah, but Molitor batted .330 every single year.
Yeah, but not in New York. He performed in some trash bag.
You know what? I'm not even going to get into the timing of the Jeter thing, because when you say something that you disagree with, it makes you look like you don't like the guy, and Jeter's, come on. I mean,
I didn't like Jeter, truthfully. As a New York fan, like, he wasn't like a sexy player. You know what I mean? Like, nothing he did was like sexy. It was always like they made that leap throw that he did, like an iconic, like, that's not, man, everyone does that.
But that was his move.
Yeah, but everyone's like, the Jeter! Man, nobody said, the Rico Bronya when he did it.
I'll give Sweatman props finally. He said the scouts didn't know that Pete Alonso couldn't The scouts didn't know Pete Alonso couldn't read. That's actually funny.
So, All right. Well, we want to touch base. We want to give you a little content today. Lou, you have anything else to add to this?
Yeah, I want to put it out there. I want to get everybody's opinion. Would everybody be more apt to watch this podcast if we did it daily at an exact time? Or do you like it scattered? Some people like different things. I personally like to have an exact time so everybody knows when the show is going to be on, and it puts pressure on the boss to be there on time. So let me know what you guys think so I could get this thing coordinated properly.
And I don't know if I like this Filthbomb thing hanging down from my head this whole podcast, so we got to talk to Stick. I may want to just make it. Now. You see, it looks like it's like a little Hindu dot on me the whole time.
Yeah, it's your third eye, kid.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm crazy about that. Stick, we might have to hook that up. All right, guys. Well, that's it. We are signing off. Just want to say what's up. Check for some Pick Your Teams posting very shortly. Try to get the Mets so Lou can't. Just claim them as fast as you can. And on that note, on behalf of myself...
Oh, no. I got a question. I've been dying to ask this before you go.
Okay.
I'm just curious. No. When people go after Pick Your Team Mets, I want to know if anybody in this group ever does it just to annoy me before I take them. That's all I want to know. If you really want them, if you want to flip cards, or if you're just doing it to bust my balls. I want to know. All right, that's all I wanted to say.
All right. Well, on that note, on behalf of myself, Stephen Michael, Filthbomb Brands, and all other brands associated with Filthbomb, we want to thank you for giving us the opportunity and allowing us to broadcast for you live today on the Filthbomb Podcast. And until the next break, till the next Casebox Packer Podcast, we're signing off saying, sayonara, Brotanis. Catch you on the flip side. Let's ride out with this, though, real quick. One time, Lou. Woo! Get on that Kendrick Lamar, sir, ASAP. Go download on iTunes.